Hello and welcome back to another Zelda 1 randomizer race. Coming up, we have Game 2 between AmazingToaster and CaptainGreen7. I'm John Tabin on commentary. Joining me is Adachinos. Good evening, John.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
So this is, in case anyone's just joining us, this is the random percent tournament, which means we figure out the flags as we go. So a lot of things are set to 50-50. The runners have to figure out what's happening as they explore, and the commentators and viewers have to figure out along with them. So strap in.
Yeah, last night's race between these two, if you didn't get a chance to see it, was one heck of a nail biter.
Yeah, they were. Toaster got to 9 first, and then Captain Green looked like he was going to catch him, and then he killed Ganon, but then Toaster found Zelda. It was very exciting.
Yeah, it was one of those. Captain Green is one of those guys. It doesn't matter what he's playing in Randomizer. He's always coming back and he's going to kick your butt. And he almost did it again. It just so happened Zelda wasn't blocked by Ganon. So, hey, it works. Flag change was nil, if I remember correctly. They opted for nothing.
Captain Green elected not to change a flag because he lost the first race. And they had a loser's remorse flag. Captain Green declined it. So they started with Recorder and Red Candle, and was that no Triforce pieces? I didn't see.
I did not see either, but Red Candle, a great starting item.
Yeah. Boletta is doing a tracking for us. She's confirmed in chat it was 0 Triforces. So, yeah, Red Candle gives them some offense early. Second quest level 7 spot opening up, so it's either second quest or mixed overworld.
And yeah, we see the sword bomb upgrade change, so we will only have a wood sword available. I'm going to make this interesting. Will the wood sword be here? Yes, it is.
Wood sword and extra candles are on, so.
And recorder. So we'll see if this recorders to unbeaten dungeons.
Yeah, if it's recorded unbeaten, they could finish this pretty fast.
It looks like it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. AmazingToaster not opting to use his recorder. Meanwhile, Captain Green buzzing into what should be level 1 based off of his recorder toots.
Well, or it could. I don't know how many times he tooted. I couldn't tell, but
he tooted once left and once right, which would take him to level 1.
So, got palettes randomized at least. Sometimes they're not.
Yeah, pretty in pink. Ooh, hi. Yeah, not fun.
And AmazingToaster mentioned in the post-race interview last night that if he had lost, the loser's remorse flag that would have been turned off would have been the replace white sword or a magical sword with bomb upgrades. So yeah, I know he's not happy to see that.
Yeah, for sure. And this looks like it is a second quest level 1. So not exactly great, but Captain Green making good use of this recorder. Just going to start rolling through the dungeons. With this flag on, it makes it super quick. I mean, obviously you've got to maybe find some other things, but you don't need to explore the overworld because you already know where everything's at. Except, when you need.
Which, for level 2, you apparently do.
Gonna check this spot real quick, see what we got. Ooh, shuffled Armos.
And Toaster is not thought to see what that recorder does yet. So
it's funny because he went to go check, and it's another dungeon.
Oh, really?
I guess we'll see here eventually what dungeon that was, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, like Buletta pointed out, we've got dungeons 3 screens right next to each other. That's pretty good. All right, Toaster using the recorder as well.
And he finds the level that Captain Green is in, right? So this must be.
This is the one that's to the left of where Captain Green currently is, which is level 3. Is where. Well, wait, hold.
Right. Oh,
No, this is
Ca-
2.
Captain Green found 2 levels right next to each other. I didn't see which one he went into, so they're in.
Yeah, but the way that it toots with this being second quest, he's actually
Right.
in level 2. I was confused for a second why there was a door. Now it makes sense.
So if Toaster blew the whistle the other way, he might be in 7?
Could be. I did not see which way he tooted, but you're correct. He could be in 7. So Captain Green gonna dig here a little bit. Triforce easy to find, but always want to try to figure out if we can find an item. If he ends up finding a recorder here, then I think that kind of sends off some red flags, hardy har, that items may be in their normal dungeons. One is obviously not confirmation for sure, but you do get some good confirmation bias with these flags. It's a pretty heavy chance that if you see one item in its dungeon, that you're probably got that flag kicked on.
Right.
And some beefy handlers.
So now that Captain Green has some bombs, he can go back to this Forgotten Spot level, which...
This is level 3.
Yes, this is second quest level 3, so the L with the apostrophe or whatever that is. Whatever the segment in level 3 is.
Oh, and there is a banana, which means
Could be unshuffled items because the magical boomerang isn't in second quest level 3.
Yeah, that's again, obviously it's kind of like, I feel like confirmation bias, but if I see that when I'm playing this, I'm just going to assume. So the next item that I'm going to dig will be like level 5 for the bow or something like that. I'm not going to waste my time doing anything. Meanwhile, this is definitely level 7 for Toaster. Checking this one out. Not a fun place to be.
Yeah, but he's digging as far as he can because they do need the Triforce out of every level. So...
Yeah, and it is equal chance to not get any Triforce pieces, but it still feels like it's really rare for that to happen.
Yeah, it does.
A free compass on the floor, though, is pretty nice. Just don't get hit by an arrow and die.
Now, HN, you're a pretty experienced player. You see the compass in the second quest level 7. Are you going to blitz the Triforce and go, or are you going to keep looking through these stairwells to try and find an item?
I mean, he's got to try to get to the Triforce to begin with, but I'm going to make a beeline to the Triforce. I don't want to dig 7, especially considering with, it's a 50-50 shot that at normal items here, which you don't need in this case. I think if you're going to dig for an item, you want to check 1, 2, and 3 first, and kind of go from there. And like, for Captain Green's side, he finds a blue boomerang. Okay, well, that's going to go off in your head. Well, maybe I don't need to dig 7.
Toaster, not interested in lowering his bomb capacity at the mugger's behest right now. Trying to find another way.
Yeah, and that's what's annoying about dealing with level 7 early on. Though I suppose if you end up getting lucky and it's hearts,
then you can just go to Zombie Link. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there are 2 muggers in level 7, and it's not fun to deal with.
Yeah, and I feel like the last couple seeds I've played, they've been like one room after another. when I was in the second quest 7.
Yeah, and it's like, how much do you really want to sacrifice?
I guess in vanilla they're only a couple rooms apart too. So
yeah, this is true. So Captain Green burning through here. It's a ladder block. have a staircase here. Is he in Second Quest 6? I'm not sure where he whistled to. I wasn't paying attention, unfortunately. I was looking at... Oh, and he gets shooted! This dungeon just doesn't want to play nice.
Chat saying he's in 6, pushing that.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And a heart container on the floor as well. So, again, if you have and a command key attempt here by Toaster, and he's going to get it. Good job.
Nice. So, shutter opens. You have a window where you can walk right through that key door. You pulled it off. Captain Green fighting a Gliok in a maze room.
Yeah, this has the possibility of being a staircase.
They do have, it looks like they have permanent sword beams on, which makes this a little bit easier.
Oh, for sure. But it is important to note that you can only have the dungeon heart shuffle 25% of the time, because if you kick on shuffle, if you turn off shuffle dungeon items, it actually makes it to where none of the items can be shuffled. So it turns off heart shuffle and bracelet, and boss heart becomes not a possibility. So it actually is a lower chance to get that flag entirely, which is kind of...
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh man, he's trapped in this room. This is probably an up and A.
Yeah. I mean,
or death, it's all the same. Oh no! Toaster got staircased. Oh my god, that bug still exists. I forgot about that.
Yes, the it's been explained to me, but I forgot what it is. Something about open staircases and closed staircases being swapped around, and then...
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
And like where the item spawns. Yeah, that particular room, if you enter and exit in the randomizer under certain conditions, you can end up on that block stuck. So that is pretty inconvenient. Especially since dipping into a staircase and turning around is pretty standard exploration play, so...
Yeah, and that's a lot of time lost there trying to get back. I mean, it's not a lot, but every little bit counts. Yeah, meanwhile, Green in level 4, the great time sink of the world.
Toaster finding the red candle in this Second Quest 7, so definitely looking like a vanilla item shuffle.
Yeah, that should be a pretty big red flag.
I mean, we know, because we've seen the boomerang in 3 and the red candle in 7. The runners have only seen one of those things, so, but...
Yeah, I know in the interview last night, Toaster said that basically after the first item that he found in its normal dungeon, he basically assumed... Yeah, I mean, because it's only a 50% chance, but the chance of that item being there is so low.
Right. Yeah. And the chance of that item being there and then not being, and then the items being shuffled, it's gonna be. You have to assume your opponent would do the same thing, and find it and go somewhere else. So it would be pretty unlucky to, see the red candle in Second Quest 7 and then go into Second Quest 5 and see, the boomerang or something.
Yeah. And Captain Green was digging around just a little bit, decided to head back for the Triforce. Maybe going to make the assumption that it is, in fact, standard items.
Well, if he left 6, if he left Second Quest 6, he might want that ladder. But...
Yeah, maybe 1 is just not enough for him. But hey, at the same time, you don't know if you're going to be ladder blocked. Take your Triforces and go. It's a gamble.
And the thing about recorded unbeaten dungeons, once you grab that Triforce, you can't whistle back to that dungeon. Yeah, so
that's a good point. Yeah, and make sure you mark those dungeons before you grab that Triforce. Otherwise, you might be in trouble.
Although the graveyard is not far from some other dungeons he found that I'm not sure I'm not sure if he's completed them yet. So.
Yeah, and that 5 looks like it's completely ladder blocked. So, we will have to, in fact, make a trek back into level 6. Toaster picks up the Triforce. I believe that's in level 1. And gonna make his way into level 2. Oh, this is level 3, I'm sorry. Level 3. Captain Green doing a little bit of exploration here. The nice thing is that we don't need the meat for level 3. We've got both the item and the Triforce without needing the meat, which is actually kind of rare with the vertical way that it goes, but it just so happened that it worked out for our players that we didn't need to have. Yeah, and Captain Green definitely understands that the ladder is likely here as he makes his way back to level 6. So making the right plays, knowing that he needs it. So probably just kind of took a gamble. He's explored most of 6 already. So probably just took the idea, well, if I don't need the ladder, I'm just going to not jack with trying to explore these last few rooms, save my keys, save my time. And in fact, it's right here. So, you know, just required it. And he gets his ladder and on we go. Toaster gonna run through here and find his Triforce. Another thing that's interesting to note is that the Triforces have all been in their original rooms, which means that drops are actually not.
Oh, so if the Triforce is in a Triforce room, the other floor drops are all going to be in the same.
Correct.
Okay.
So with that basic,
I did notice the second quest. The second quest level 6 ladder room had a blue rupee in it, although it happened to be attached to a light, like not in the corner like it is in the vanilla ladder room. But that is interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, it could do that if there's happens to be one of those enemies that can be picked up. But why that's important is, and it's not in this particular seed, but something to keep of note. If in fact Boss Heart Shuffle was on, if Triforces are all in their normal rooms, that means you can basically eliminate where you need to look for the items on the floor. You know that it's going to be in its original room in the dungeons, so you don't have to search for nearly as much. It kind of makes it convenient.
Does that mean the compasses are all in the same rooms?
Yeah, everything will be in its original spot. Yeah, just like that. The compass is in the reverse C room here in 3,
which is helpful for finding the Triforce room faster.
So, I mean, it requires you to have some pretty hefty knowledge of room layouts and everything, which not a lot of people have that, even the people who play Rando, and you don't do a lot of that in vanilla either, so it doesn't really translate. But it's one of those things that you can kind of study up on and get a little bit of a leg up on your opponent if you understand, okay, so my Triforces are all in the right room, so now I need to look for a Gleeok room in this particular dungeon in order to pick up this item if Boss Heart Shuffle's on.
Captain Green pulling the bow out of level 5. If Ganon turns out to be required, that will certainly be useful.
Yeah, definitely worth picking up on the way. You know, because it would kind of suck to have to come back here, and you're kind of on the way to the Triforce.
And our restreamer CD Improv pointing out in chat, Goma sitting on top of the bow. Which is actually in vanilla Second Quest 5, Goma is one room away from the bow staircase, so that's not that. It's only a little bit weird, but
you know,
yeah,
opposite the tracks.
Yeah. So
I guess technically,
in the speed run, you bring the no-up A speed run. You bring the arrows so you can kill Goma as soon as you get the bow. But casually, it's a real troll because it's like you're like, what is this Goma doing here? And it happens to just be guarding a key, but you're like, what is this Goma doing here? And it's like, crap, I should have bought arrows earlier when you're playing blind. So, all right, Captain Green pulling Triforce 5 as AmazingToaster making his way through. What do we think this blue level is?
It should be level 2. So Captain Green's got, I mean, anything can happen, right, in Rando, but Captain Green seems to have a pretty hefty edge at this time. He's got a ladder, he's got the bow, he understands the process. Basically, he's figured out the seed. The only thing that there is left is, one, you got to find level 9. So there will be overworld exploration to do that, because you can't whistle to level 9. And whether or not Ganon is in fact required, and you need to dig out silvers.
But since items are vanilla, silver arrows will definitely be in level 9. So
yes, for sure.
That's something you don't need to worry about until you find level 9.
The real killer about this particular mix of flags is that you end up with basically nothing else. You don't end up with an 80 key. You don't end up with a lot of hearts. You don't end up with a ring. So you've got to be, and both of these guys are really good. You just got to be really good at avoiding dying. Because it can be a real pain. And it's second quest 9, so it's a little bit easier to navigate. It's a little bit easier on the keys also, which is good because these guys have 2 keys to their name. But you know, it's one of those things where this particular flag setup, you're not exploring a lot, so you're not finding overworld hearts, you're not getting letters, you're not getting potions, so it can really strain your resources and such.
Yeah, and if you are having that kind of trouble, sometimes you have to make the calculation: am I going to spend an extra time to grab the heart container out of this level, or go through the 800 staircases in level 8 to grab the any key or something like that? Which is
right.
Usually the answer to the second question is no, but.
Yeah, and it's important to note that obviously enemies can be in different spots in the particular rooms. Mm-hmm. But actually, there's occasions when that's not necessarily true either, because those can be ticked off. But you got to look for the particular type of room, and that was the fireball room in this dungeon that normally has the heart container. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of really weird nuances to the randomizer and random percent that if you pick up on, you can actually save a lot of time. One that doesn't apply to this one either is palette changes, because palettes are shuffled, but if they're not, with there being hidden dungeon numbers, you can tell what dungeon you're in by the colors, and that can really help you.
Yeah, that came into play in the race earlier tonight on this channel between Jake Oper and Drash. They had hidden dungeon numbers, but the palettes were made it easier to tell than this seed.
And I'd have to confirm, but I'm pretty sure that with Shape, since it uses all the first quest parameters, if Shuffle Palettes is off, because everybody plays with Shuffle Palettes on, I'm pretty sure that it uses first quest colors. So even with Shapes, you can kind of tell, which is really helpful if you're in 1 or 2 or 3. That way you know how many items you're looking for in particular. Man, look at that easy Triforce. Tasty, tasty. Yeah, Captain Green flying. I mean, we're less than 23 minutes into this. He's got 5 Triforces and knows what he needs to do. Toaster isn't really that far behind. He's got 3 Triforces, but he's taking out the tougher levels first, which is kind of making it seem like he's being a little bit slower. But when you dig through 7 and 8, and you don't necessarily know how the items are laying out, you can sink a little bit more time in than somebody who uses that time in the earlier levels where it's quicker to find those items. But ladder is going to make life a lot easier. It obviously is required for level 5 to begin with, so I think our bubble curse is swordless. So that's no fun. Everybody wants the slow curse. think he's farming for a bomb here. Yeah, there it is. The nice thing about bubbles in rooms like these is you could just totally avoid dealing with Wizrooms because you can just run into them and avoid them.
Yeah, chat's saying they think it's reverse controls. The fact that Captain Green just stepped out of the room and came back for no particular reason makes me think that it's probably reverse controls.
The second best curse. And reverse controls is you can get used to that one, and it's hard to do like Wizroom combat or something, but slow is just, it makes you have to think of too long about how many mistakes you've made in the randomizer.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh.
Yeah, and reverse controls. The real problem with reverse controls is you hit the blue bubble and your mind has to adjust back to non-reverse controls.
That is very true. Yeah, when you have to do like this slow walk of shame to go find a blue bubble somewhere because you don't have a potion in level 9, that's so great. Alright, Toaster gonna clear out this room here, see what we got. And Captain Green not able to continue going the left way. Good old level 8. Fun place to be. It's my home, and it's confusing. Good news, there's lots of Dodongos here, so we can get our bombs back, which is nice.
Question in chat. It's always 8 Triforces to enter 9 in this tournament, but the number of Triforces you start with is randomized, and it can't be a Holy Grail item requirement to enter 9. It's always 8 Triforces.
Captain Green. Oh, we do have Boomstick. Yay.
Oh yeah. Magical shield in the basement means there's a book in the shop somewhere that will add explosions to the wand if they.
Captain Green operating under reverse controls right now, which is fun. And another leave your keys or bomb room. That's always. Looks like Captain Green is searching for that wand or that any key a little bit as well, which I don't blame him. 3 keys, not a great place to be. Wand would be great to have as. Toaster kind of getting the D from the D here. Level 4 is I'd almost prefer level 8 and 7 over 4, because I just always seem to have so many issues with this dungeon because there's one-way walk walls. If you get like some vanilla stuff, it's just a pain to deal.
Yeah, second quest level 4 is a beast, and it often is like the key to everything. With vanilla items, not as much, but like because it has two basement items, it's
yeah.
You often need to dig it, and
yeah, it's just horrible. And it never fails. Your last 2 rooms will be the staircase rooms, and probably the Triforce room is one of the staircases because why not?
You always get trolled. Blood is saying in chat, you always get trolled to the path of the Triforce in 4. It'll be like 3 rooms away, but not a direct path to it. And that actually is the way second quest level 4 is in vanilla too. It's like it's a very complicated path of the Triforce if you look at it like on a map.
Yeah, for sure.
And so when you mix the rooms around, it's gonna be there are staircases and walkthroughs and bomb walls and unexpected places.
Like Toaster's dealing with right now. You can't get north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nightmare. Captain Green finding another transport. Eight full of fun-filled transports. Boy, just not have. Oh, and Toaster gets reverse controlled. Should be able to get, as I say, should be able to go up and to the left to get to the Triforce room. Does find a map, don't need it. Work! Alright, so Toaster on the board with 4. Does get done with that level. He's already got level 7 done too, so got to keep that in mind. Again, while the Triforce behind has done one of the more annoying dungeons, so that is the nice to get out of the way. There's the compass, and it's clear back on the other side. Oh, he's been like right there. That's terrible. Oh, that's the worst feeling ever. No ladder for Toaster yet.
Yeah. But he could get it in this dungeon. He's in 6, right?
Yes, I believe so. The real killer is that I don't know that he's really seen any items other than the red candle. So I guess with that he could kind of.
He's seen the red candle in 7, and he's seen the magical shield in 4, which swaps with the boomstick. So
that is true.
He may have figured it out by now.
And I guess he's gotten the blue boomerang out of 3. So I think at that point, yeah, you know, the ladder's here.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite fortunate that in level 7 didn't run into more ladder blocks than he did. And there is the Triforce for Captain Green. So he's got 6 down, 2 to go.
So, Captain Green's turn to make his way through 7. Now, Toaster has quite a bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, still has to get through. Did he not get the Triforce out of level 3?
That's surprising that he would have the magical boomerang, but not the level 3 Triforce.
Pretty sure he did. Oh, I'll have to wait till he menus.
Unless it was bait blocked, which I don't think it was. So.
No, because I don't remember Captain Green buying bait.
Yeah, it wouldn't. We would have noticed that. So.
Okay, so he does have level 3. So he's still only 1 Triforce behind here. And on his way for the ladder, which is good because he hasn't gone to level 5 yet, which was ladder blocked. So that will save a little bit of time. And again, we don't know if Ganon's forced, and level 9 is level. I think the ladder was south of here? Yeah, so this will be the ladder for Toaster. He'll be glad to see that. Now the question is, can he get to the Triforce? Because I don't remember where it was, and he is currently out of bombs.
I don't remember either. Captain Green Captain Green noped out of 1, and Toaster got the Triforce. I can't remember why he did that.
Yeah, Captain Green actually taking a very. I mean, he's like 1 room away. There it is. Yeah, that's crazy. Without a compass. What a quick 7.
I guess it makes sense because Second Quest level 1 has so little. If it's item shuffle, it's a boomerang, and even if it's not item shuffle, it's a floor item, so it's often not worth the time.
Yeah, I guess to finish this up, and then like Buletta said, we got to figure out where 9's at.
Yeah, we have no clue where 9 is, and well, they both picked up the recorder, so if it's under a recorder spot, they'll get it. Power bracelet may be out there under an armrest we haven't seen, but yeah, it has to be. So that's
yeah, it is under one of the armos, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. But yeah, I mean, gotta figure out where 9's at here.
Captain Green starting with the first quest level 9's bomb hole. AmazingToaster in level 5. He already has the ladder, so he won't have to make 2 trips here. Putting that magical shield to use.
Hey, you know, it's a good item. It screws up my screen scrolls. So to me, it's never worth it because I lose more time because of that. And half the time, I don't remember to actually use it properly. I swing my sword and get hit by the beams anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're used to fighting Wizards without the magical shield, you're standing on half tiles and so forth, and it doesn't do anything. So.
And Captain Green almost up an aid out of the what is a vanilla actually take any cave, and then decides he's going to go take a potion. And then
I wonder if he almost up an aid or if he was just checking his inventory to see what he had.
It could be.
I do that sometimes and take, and he's like, "Do I have a potion already? I don't know."
Oh, more money. Useful for silvers if you ever get it, I think. It might actually be worth going back, you know, during your trek. We know that second bomb upgrade, which would be the White Sword bomb upgrade, is actually over there by start. So on his way back over, he might be able to pick that up and get a couple extra bombs.
Yeah. Question, chat. Yeah, that bomb upgrade was the magical sword. There's a the flag is replace White Sword and magical sword with bomb upgrades. So there are two bomb upgrades somewhere. At least one of them is in a cave. And in this case, because items are on shuffle, both of them will be in cave. Yeah, it's an interesting aspect of this tournament because obviously that flag was designed for swordless, but at least in the early rounds of this tournament, it means you get a wood sword. So. And nothing, and no sword upgrade, which adds an interesting dynamic.
Oh, and 9 found by Toaster. So pretty interesting. It's over by level 1, which is gonna help. I mean, that's one last thing he's got to worry about finding. Oh, I guess he did dive into 5 and got ladder block, so he did invest that time. But the question here is going to be, how much longer does it take Captain Green to get back around to that recorder spot versus how long does it take Toaster to find the bow, get done with 5 and 8? Put your bets in chat.
H, and I have to excuse myself for a few minutes. Hope you can handle this solo. Sorry about that.
Nope, you're fine. You're fine. I'm sure everybody will love hearing just my voice for a little bit. So Captain Green got a world wrap here, which means he's going to check a bunch of spots. I guess it's not really world wrapping. He's coming over here, but he's making his way up towards the northeast and around. So at the path he's going, it's going to take him a little bit to get to where level 9 actually is. Meanwhile, Toaster is searching his way through level 5. Should find the bow on the route to the Triforce, so no issue there. Captain Green finding some extra cash. I guess if you end up with 255 and you run into a blue ring, you might pick it up. What else are you going to spend money on? All right, so Toaster moving down south. Here's the bow from the Goma. Question will be, how long does it take him to get the Triforce in 8? It was actually a pretty quick Triforce in the dungeon. It just so happened that Captain Green took kind of a different path away from it. So Toaster could luck into it a little bit faster and save himself 3 or 4 minutes. Again, Captain Green going to do all of these checks up here and then wrap back around and may hit Death Mountain. I guess the lack of bombs will probably push him away from Death Mountain, but a lot of checks here before he gets back to the middle of Hyrule, where level 1 is, or level 9 is actually pretty interesting. Toaster picking up his Triforce out of 5 is a singular Triforce behind now. And it looks like we had vanilla spots for our Takeny Road. 8 wasn't terrible. The Triforce, again, there's a staircase that goes right next to it. It just so happened that Captain Green took a different direction, so it can be quick. Toaster's put in a little bit of time, not too much, but we'll see what happens. The compass was quite a bit off the path. It was several rooms in, but again, with how much time is required here to clear out the whole northeastern section, likely wrap to where level 5 is at, do the stuff up there by Death Mountain, it's going to take a little bit of time for Captain Green to get back over here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if that was an accidental potion, maybe doing it on purpose just to avoid dying here. I don't want to have to come back up just to check a singular cave. Boomstick is actually on. The problem is getting the wand out of level 8 and then actually purchasing the book. Unfortunately, Boomstick, even when it's on, is not really one of those things that gets picked up very often, even when it's convenient. You know, unless you kind of already have the wand and run into a shop that's got it, I don't think anybody's going to really pick it up. And even then, you got to kind of weigh the options of, well, do I need to buy meat? Do I need to buy keys? Is it second quest overworld when I only have one large secret? Do I have a money-making game close that I can manipulate? There's a lot of things that kind of factor into that, to where unless I've got really, really beefy enemies, you know what I got to do with bad Wizrobes or bad Dark Nuts, I'm probably never going to pick up Boomstick. And, you know, with the 50% chance of having zero HP enemies, there's not a lot of benefit to the Boomstick anyway. Toaster does find the wand, so it does have one component, but not nearly the rupees nor the location of the book. I'm telling you, before it's over with, somebody will get Boomstick. But unless it's... And what's going to happen is they're going to start with wand and book randomly at the start, and Boomstick's going to be turned on, and it's going to be like this ridiculously fast seed because everything's just going to die, and you can force bombs from every... It's going to happen. All right, so Toaster's up here towards the top. If you go... Try to remember, if you go north, if you can still go north, and then take a couple of rooms to the left, it will allow you to get to the room that's got the compass. which and the Triforce is back in the far left column on the bottom. All right, so that just takes him back south. That doesn't do anything at all. I think it might be this staircase. I don't remember. I don't remember the exact path to 8. All right, so Captain Green is very close. He's going to find level 9 momentarily. The question is going to be, does he go south or does he wrap around Kendall Row? And I bet you he wraps around Kendall Row. That's the general path. So roughly a minute, give or take. Does find some cheap bombs. That's nice to pick up. I'm going to help him out there. So again, how long will it take here for Toaster to find this Triforce? Having some major issues with the dongos, which is pretty normal. That's normal behavior. Yeah, it was a staircase over to the Triforce. It's pretty quick too. Once you just have to find the right stair, and then it will drop you like one room from the Triforce. And I don't remember which stair it was, but you do need to take a stair. And he's going to go left, which is going to lead to a dead end, which is unfortunate. This room doesn't go anywhere. All right, so 9 for Captain Green. So now we're playing for all the marbles. Second quest, level 9. The way that I want to play this, and I think is usually the correct way. Well, there's Ganon. Oh, no, sorry, just the dark room. Kind of fooled me. You want to explore vertically, because there's a 50% chance that Ganon and Zelda are in their rooms. So obviously you want to check for Ganon, and you also want to find Zelda. But the easiest way, most of the time, to find Zelda is moving up and down, because her room is blocked on the north, south, and northeast and west. So if she is in fact in an open room, it's going to make it very difficult if you're exploring left or right to ever find her. Obviously want to find silvers if possible, but you can see Captain Green, he went straight up, hit a stop, decided I'm going to up an A, and I'm going to go check a different direction and try to do the same thing. I don't have audio on, so I can't hear if he heard Ganon, but he probably didn't. You know, that's one of those things that kind of highlight, you know, the way you're going. I'm going to check this one off room just in case, nothing there. All right, so Toaster running into that same problem. Going to up an A, make his way back through level 8 here. Got a Patra, nice candle boost, still gets bopped at the door, but does make it through. Fireballs and bubbles. Staircase here. And hey, well, you know, not what you're specifically looking for, but red ring is one of those things you're never going to say no to. Basically, yeah, and then just pops a potion. So basically now he's free to go, has a ridiculous 24 hearts worth of life. It is not single elimination. It is double elimination, best of 3s. So again, you can see here that he is prioritizing vertical exploration, which is the way you want to play this until you know that Ganon's not in his room.
Sorry about that. Looks like I guess Toaster just has 8 to go, and Captain Green's in 9.
Yeah, unfortunately, Toaster having some trouble here navigating level 8, not finding that direction to get where he needs to go. There's a staircase he's got to take that will get him pretty darn close. Meanwhile, Captain Green checking out the dungeon, not finding what he needs here in level 9 thus far. Did find a red ring, make exploration a lot easier. Toaster going to be one room away here, going to the left will get him to the compass room. We'll see if he takes the time to clear this out. Sorry, 2 rooms to the left, my bad. Should have bunnies. No, this was it. This was definitely it. It was the Chevy room. This is the normal compass room. This level 9 being quite interesting. Shutter door here. Wonder if this is Zelda. Gonna try to kill this Patra, because this could be a staircase. And no bueno. Well, I thought the compass was in that room. Another staircase, and no bueno again. It's still a possibility that Zelda is in this room over here. Because a shutter door is a door that can be there. So that's something you gotta pay attention to. As the key is found here by Toaster in 8. There can be a shutter door required to get into Zelda's room by clearing the room, even if Ganon is not required. So that could really screw with people sometimes. If you're not clearing rooms and you're looking for a shutter door or whatnot, and you're like, oh, it's a shutter door, yada yada. Well, Zelda could still be up there.
Yeah.
This 9's not being super kind. I don't know. I prefer First Quest 9. A lot of people like Second Quest 9, but I prefer First Quest 9 because I think Second Quest is way more trolly, even though it's less rude.
I strongly prefer Second Quest. I mean, First Quest or Shapes have so many staircases. Gets a lot more complicated. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, every time you go to a Second Quest staircase in Second Quest 9, it doesn't have an item. That's just been my.
Well, I mean, statistically, that's more true in First Quest 9.
You're not wrong. I just dislike Second Quest 9. And here's Ganon. He's in his room, which means we have Zelda in her room, which thusly eliminates the bottom 2 columns.
And our tracker thinks she saw a Zelda door, but did Captain Green see that?
Well, he's certainly continuing trying to get towards this top right-hand corner. And I guess it doesn't necessarily 100% mean that Zelda is in her room, but the chances of that not being the case are pretty low. And there's a wall master in that room, that kind of stinks.
Can't there be a one-way shutter in Second Quest 9 that isn't Zelda? I feel like that's...
Oh, he gets wall master. That's terrible.
Nope.
No, I believe all of the one-way shutter doors have been removed and have not ever been placed back in. That's something that Fred has talked about doing just to have some fun, but as of right now, there are no one-way shutter doors. For that very reason, because if you clear it and it doesn't open, you would assume that it's Zelda. And so for that very reason, it's been removed.
H, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to excuse myself for the rest of the race. My dog is getting sick, and I need to tend to her.
Okay, that's fine. So Toaster taking a pretty bad death there in level 8. Unfortunately, going to have to make his way back up towards the top. Captain Green still trying to figure out where the heck to go to find Zelda and or the silver. Toaster is, if it goes down south, I think it's 3 more, and to the left, he'll find the Triforce. I don't know if he can get there that way, because I know it was a staircase before. But yes, second quest 8, doing second quest 8 things to Toaster, unfortunately. And second quest 9, doing second quest 9 things to Captain Green. Will this be the silvers? It is not. So I think that's going to be the last staircase we'll get Captain Green to the silver arrows. Wow! And it's, wow. There's like 2 rooms left on his map. What a horrible feeling. If this level 8 hadn't been giving Toaster so many issues, this would be a very close race. And in fact, if Toaster goes north, I think twice, he is going to north or right. The Triforce is right next to here. I think it's north one. But man, this is why I don't like Second Quest 9. Because it should be so simple, yet it is never that simple. But this should be the silver arrows here for Captain Green. Last staircase, I think the last room in the dungeon on top of it. Meanwhile, Toaster trying to get to the Triforce, should be to the room to the right. He's going to continue north. Sorry, the room to the left. My apologies. Captain Green into Ganon's room. One north of Ganon. Always fun. Toaster picking up his last Triforce. Gonna make his way towards 9 now. But unfortunately, I think it's gonna be too little too late, as Captain Green has pretty much got this entire place plotted out. Is gonna be heading right towards Zelda. Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty good race. We ended up being 56 minutes, despite the fact that, 30 minutes in, we were pretty much close to being done. Just kind of the way level 8 rolled out, and level 9 here with the silvers, playing some tricks on people. And there is the dot done. An official SRL time of 56:55. GG to him. And with that, we are going to have a game 3. I believe Toaster said that his remorse flag is going to be one that actually popped up in this case, which was removing the chance for the white sword and magical sword to be bomb upgrades. So yeah, didn't play a whole lot into this. There wasn't any substantial amount of crazy combat or anything like that, but like he had mentioned before, it was kind of an odd flag. And so yeah, we will have a game 3, which is exciting. And welcome, Captain Green. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Congratulations. Forcing a game 3.
Thank you.
So yeah, interesting seed. Fantastic second quest, level 9 as always.
Yeah, that wall master almost ruined my life. Because that was the last room I had to check after that.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate that you got wall mastered there. So Toaster finally just got into level 9. Unfortunately, had some issues with level 8. Didn't find the compass and kind of took some wrong locations, died once or twice, and it cost him quite a bit of time in between there. But what did you think of this seed so far? I think it was unfortunately John had to step out due to some stuff going on, but we were kind of discussing where, again, you kind of see items where they normally are. You saw, I think, the blue boomerang first in level 3. And a lot of people are basically going to assume, okay, items are in their normal dungeons, and that kind of played out for you too, because you immediately went to level 6 after seeing the ladder block in 5.
Yeah, after 3, I actually whistled purposely the 6 first, because I'm like, okay, ladder is the best possible item I could probably get right now. And then, fortunately, it was one of the last 2 rooms I didn't get to. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll check if there's a ladder block first. But yeah, based on that boomerang in 3, I just gambled hard that items were going to be in their original locations. Between room drops being in their original locations, and between Whistle going to Unbeaten, it's the most like sort of blitz seed I've ever played. That's still 8 Triforces. There's like no downtime at all until looking for 9.
Yeah, and this what kind of was mentioned earlier is that about 30 minutes it looked like this was going to be super fast, and here it is with the 56-55 finish, because level 8 and level 9 kind of really put a damper on everything, which is normal for second quest, especially with level 8. But yeah, the unbeaten dungeons is starting with a recorder, kind of like the dream scenario, and then like you mentioned, the drops being in their normal spots too, and being unshuffled. That's kind of like a case for blitz seeds. Just finding that level 9, I was talking about how it was kind of close, because Toaster actually found level 9. He was kind of digging around a little bit around level 1 before going to his last 2 dungeons, and found level 9 while you had just started looking for it. And with the path that you took, it took you a little bit to get there. And if level 8 hadn't given him so much trouble, this would have been pretty close.
Yeah, for sure. The level 9 hunt is kind of like crazy nerve-wracking in a weird sort of way, when you pretty much have the entire mixed quest overworld left to explore. It's like, okay, which of these 50 spots is it going to be?
Yeah, and look at this. Toaster's in the Silver's room right now. Is just basically walked into it. Ganon's to the south. So his 9 is going to be substantially faster, and that's just basically out of pure luck and unfortunately getting wall mastered. But it just kind of explains how much that level 8 that really made a difference. Because I've been there, man. Like, level 9 is the worst thing in the world, because like you're talking about, it's super nerve-wracking. All I got to do is find the silvers and I'm done. And then it's like, but it's the last room.
Right. Like, you think at least second quest 9 is going to be better than first quest, and it's like,
yeah, I'm probably in the minority, but I prefer first quest 9 over second quest 9. A lot of people like second quest because it doesn't there's not as many stairs, there's walk through walls, and there's less rooms. But I just seem to get trolled by second quest 9 so hard. There was a couple of the all board no sword tournament matches where I got trolled super bad, and so I prefer first quest 9.
Yeah, it feels like it definitely does lead to like dead ends a lot in second quest 9, where it's like, oh, now I'm all the way like up in the ear, and like I don't want to have to walk 5 rooms back just to get, so then I up A again, and like up A again. It's kind of, I guess it's a little bit more linear than the first quest 9 can tend to be.
So I think Toaster said that his remorse flag, which actually came into play this time, is to turn off the bomb upgrade from White Sword and Magical Sword.
Yeah, that will, I think, maybe actually hurt me a little bit, because kind of low percent wooden sword combat is kind of my thing, so I don't mind a combat heavy seed with wood sword only.
Yeah, combat actually wasn't too strenuous in this seed either.
I feel like last night's was actually tougher combat-wise, for sure.
And I don't know that you ever saw, but Toaster did find the book in 4, so a shield. So it is a boomstick seed. He did find the wand, but obviously not the money or the time to find the cave, and has taken a couple of deaths here to Ganon, unfortunately, who's not playing very nice. And how about the red candle start?
Yeah, that's always nice to start with. Negated slightly by the Whistle the New Dungeons, because it's less exploration early on. But it's definitely a nice weapon to have, a repeatable weapon.
So do you guys have your third game scheduled?
I should actually put that on the schedule now. Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow at 10 p.m. as well.
Awesome! Well, hopefully I will get done with my match fast enough to take part in watching that. Because I enjoy watching you guys race. You especially. I've raced against you a lot in some really funky seed setups. We've done like the swordless OKO and had a lot of matches throughout a lot of tournaments, and I enjoy racing you and then watching you because you got a very unique play style and how you play, and it's pretty good to watch.
Thanks. Yeah, that Swordless OKO was a crazy one. Like, I mean, that's before anyone really even had any idea who I was, and I had no business being in that final, but it was a ton of fun. I have good memories of that one for sure.
All right, Toaster making his way north. Very close to Zelda, but not quite. Just north of her. Take that stair that's north of her. And get shot over to the right-hand ear. That's what like you're talking about. It's just there's one-way walls and walk-through walls and stuff like that can just really screw with you in 9. And you seem to just go all over the place. When you want to go to a specific spot, it's linear in that it takes you nowhere where you want to go most of the time.
Yeah, his map is starting to look like mine there.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling whenever you full clear a 9. Or you run into rooms like this where you just can't go anywhere. But any other thoughts on the seed?
Not really. It's the first one I've ever played like that, where it's just I've never started with recorder and unbeaten dungeons, so that was a new experience, which is kind of a crazy one actually. So that's what I'm really like about this flag set and this tournament, is that it's going to be like something new every single time you play a race. So it's been cool so far.
Yeah, that particular combination, I've never played with it either, but it's just, I can imagine it's one of those things where it puts a lot of stress on you too, because you know your opponent's going to figure it out too. So it's like, there's no exploration involved, which is, for me personally, one of my strong suits is my exploration. So for me, I would lose out on some of my advantage, and it just becomes down to how quickly can I navigate a dungeon and figure out the other little nuances of it. So it's like you said, every game's going to be a different experience, and that's what's pretty cool about it. I enjoy trying to decipher the seed as I go, and that's why I enjoy commentary so much, is trying to figure out all the things going on and what everybody needs to do and where you need to go.
Yeah, one of the best things I've actually found preparing for this tournament is watching other people play and watching other people stream, because you learn from what they do as well and how they approach a seed, like things that I wouldn't have thought of myself. So it's a cool way to improve.
One room away here for Toaster. So close. Needs to go over one column back.
Well, I don't think he has Ganon down yet.
Oh, you're right. He didn't get Ganon. He died to him. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I guess the one nice thing about full clearing a 9 before that is you're guaranteed to have a red ring.
Yeah, which I think he's finally picked up. So no, he hasn't picked that up yet. That's one of the few rooms he has not managed to get into. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing tomorrow night. I haven't done any practice, and I haven't played a seed in, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. I'm probably going to try to pick something up and do a little bit of practice tomorrow after I get off work, but it'll be interesting. There's a lot that goes into understanding rando percent. It's a lot different than one of my favorite tournaments, and probably my favorite tournament, was the 2017 random percent tournament. The comment, and it's a little bit, this one's not nearly as chaotic yet. We had Blackout and Swordless and a lot of things that were early on in that particular tournament that made some pretty polarizing matches. But again, like I was talking about before, I enjoy it because there's so much that you need to know to play it well. And so actually having knowledge of the randomizer is an advantage versus just having a skill set to play the game. And so it makes it to where people who aren't necessarily as good combat-wise or skill-wise can be really good at the randomizer because they pick up on little things that their opponent may not do, as Toaster does take down Ganon.
Absolutely, it's definitely a very like thinking heavy flag set. As you said, like you're trying to piece together what all flags all got set as you're going along. So it's easy. It's very easy to forget something big, like maybe you forget try recording new unbeaten dungeons or something like that, and trying to remember where vanilla item locations are and stuff like that. So yeah, it's knowledge of the randomizer in and out definitely can give you an advantage, even if you're not as skilled combat-wise or anything like that.
Toaster making his way north will find Zelda momentarily. Not this way! Alright, going south. Going west. I don't think you can go west that way. I think you have to go down and around. This is why I hate Second Quest 9. It's like, yeah, but I just need to go one room that way. And it doesn't let you go one room that way. There it is. Down, left, up. We got it. Get your GGs in, chat. Toaster done with an official time of 1:10:30. Not sure if he is going to come in for an interview or not. Good game, Toaster. How you doing, sir?
I screwed up 8 pretty bad. So I forgot about that room above the red bubbles.
Hey, there you are. Yeah, that 8 was pretty rough.
I hate 7 and 8 anyways in Second Quest, and that one was pretty diabolical. I went and finally looked at a map, and I was like, oh, there's another room up there, because it wasn't making any sense without that room.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I was talking a little bit to Captain Green here while we were watching you, and you had done a little bit of exploration in the middle of finding of your dungeons, with the unbeaten recorder whistle, and you found level 9. Captain Green had not found level 9, and the route that he took was along the coast up through the northeast and around. So it took him a very long time to find level 9. It's just unfortunately that level 8 took a pretty heavy toll. Otherwise, I think this would have been pretty close, because your level 9 was finding the silvers was substantially faster. It was kind of the last room that Captain Green managed to find. So yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit unfortunate, but you still played very well.
Yeah, I've full cleared it looking for Zelda.
Yeah, it's she was in a really weird location.
Yeah, you had to go around things to get to her.
But outside of the level 8 and the level 9, what were your thoughts overall on the seed, with starting with Red Candle Recorder to Unbeaten Dungeons with the Recorder and something?
Yeah, it took me a couple minutes to realize, oh yeah, I have a flute. I should try it out and figure out what's going on with it. And then it was okay. Let's start doing dungeons. Pick up the bow while we're in 5, and I forgot that 5 was 5 and not, or was 5 and not 4 for a bit there.
Yeah, with the Recorder, it does do it backwards, which is always fun. But yeah, I mean, when does it? When did you pick up on the fact that the dungeon items were not?
I saw the candle in 7, and then I picked up or saw the boomerang in 3, and I was like, okay, we're on regular dungeon item, position.
Yeah, it always makes it a little bit nice. That way you don't have to dig out things like. I say you don't have to dig out 4, but to get to the Triforce in level 4 is still a chore. So, ended up finding a couple of the items there, anyways. But yeah, I mean, unfortunate again that that level 8 was such a pain in the butt, but. He still played well. We're going to a game 3, which is something everybody enjoys. I think you said yesterday that your flag is going to be to turn off the white sword magical sword bomb upgrades, which actually appeared in this flag.
Yeah, I like having those swords if you can find them, rather than having a couple bombs.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Yeah, good game to you both. Got anything to say between amongst?
I'm good.
Just GG's these past 2, and looking forward to tomorrow's.
I just hope we don't get second quest dungeons again. We've had it
Yeah,
twice
that
in a
seems to be
row.
the theme.
Yeah, super random, right?